If you're watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it, it is indeed May the 4th, Star Wars Day. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to look at some of the Jabba-related items that are going to be coming up for order or purchase on May the 4th. There's a number of them. And in addition to that, I want to look at some of the Mandalorian and Grogu merchandise that may or may not be available on the 4th exactly, but right around that time. It's coming out, as you may know, on May the 22nd. So there's going to be some Hut-related merchandise there as well. Now, I'm planning to release this video a little bit earlier than I usually do in the morning on the 4th, just to give you a bit of a heads up if you do decide you want to order any of these items. They're probably going to be going on sale a little bit later today. So let's go ahead and get right into it. You may recall that a couple of years ago, Disney Parks released this Jabba the Hutt-shaped popcorn bucket. I made a short video on the channel about it at the time, but I kind of thought, well, that's the pinnacle of Jabba-related popcorn buckets at Disney. But no, they're actually releasing another one. This time it's Jabba's sail barge. It's a little hard for me to believe that this is actually a real product, but it is apparently, and it's going to feature a little door that you can open so you can get a closer look at some tiny figures that are in there of Jabba, Salacious Crumb on the throne, as well as the droids next to them. I haven't found any high-resolution photos of this, so this is as good as it gets, but it looks really cool. I just don't know exactly where the popcorn actually goes. I guess the inside of the rest of the ship is hollow, but it doesn't look like it would hold a huge amount. At the same time, they're also releasing a salvaged protocol droid head popcorn bucket, which is a string of words I never thought I would say, but here we are. It looks pretty cool. It seems to have light-up eyes as well, so that's also a cool option. As I said, these are at Disney Parks, and they're going to be available on May the 4th and 5th. I don't know if that's all the time that they're going to be available, or maybe, that's just when they're starting to release them, but they are going to be fairly limited, it sounds like. They're going to cost $30 and will come with some spicy cheese popcorn. You can only order them, I guess, through the mobile app. Don't really understand all the intricacies of ordering merchandise at Disney, unfortunately, but I do have someone who says he's going to be able to get me one, so I am very grateful for that. Now, the next two items we're going to talk about should be a little bit easier to get your hands on because they're going to be available not just at the parks, but also on the Disney Store website. And that will start at, I believe, 8 a.m. Pacific on May the 4th. So it's probably already available as I make this video public. So as you probably gathered by now, the first item is this Lando Skiff Guard helmet. And this is apparently going to be $99 and will include not only the helmet itself, which should be wearable, but also a stand, which is really cool. And I think for $99, this looks really good, actually. I'm pretty impressed with it. The next item is, of course, Leia's helmet when she was impersonating the bounty hunter in Jabba's palace. And this is a bit of a higher-end piece compared to the Lando helmet. This one is twice as expensive at $199, but is more detailed. It has some faux leather, some better weathering, I would say, and also some electronic effects such as a voice changer. This looks like a pretty decent helmet that you could use in cosplay and that kind of thing, as well as for display, although I don't see that it includes a stand like the Lando version. Either way, these are semi-affordable ways to get some decent-looking prop replicas into your collection. This might be the one that I'm most excited about, to be honest with you. It's a Jabba the Hutt figurine, so-called. I think it's more of a statue than anything. It's not an action figure. But it's, a little under 6 inches tall, 9.2 inches wide, so a decent size. And from what we can see on the front of the box here, it looks like they've done a decent job sculpting and painting him as well. It has a light-up feature where the froggy bowl lights up. This is going to cost $149, so I'm hoping it's going to be on the nicer side compared to just a plastic figurine or something like that. They're also going to be releasing this Rancor wall decor piece, which is a replica of the Rancor decoration that was on the sail barge called a Rancor Corbel. And you may recall that Regal Robot released a full-sized version of that a while back, as well as a magnet version of it. This is sort of a medium-sized version. I'm not sure if it's supposed to look like it's carved out of wood or not, but it's going to cost $79. That's about all I could find for Jabba-related items that are going to be coming out on May the 4th, although do let me know if I overlooked anything. But I also wanted to include some items from The Mandalorian and Grogu. these are specifically Hut-related items, and more specifically than that, Rota the Hut-related items. I'm very happy to find that Rota is finally coming back into the fold, so to speak. We're finally going to know what happened to Rota, Jabba's son. And I mean, I assume it's not a spoiler to say at this point that we know that he's essentially all grown up and kind of buff looking and some kind of an arena fighter or something along those lines. And so all the images we've seen of him have been kind of holding these two big axes, and that's going to be his signature look, I think. The first Rota figure that I saw any images of was from this figurine set. It's apparently something going to be sold at Disney parks and probably Disney Store online. And you may recall they've had many of this kind of figurine set for not just Star Wars but other things as well, Disney movies and so forth, Pixar, where they have a bunch of the main characters in kind of uh, budget figure form, I guess you'd say. They tend to be not articulated or anything, but they're still reasonably nice. This Mandalorian team up set with Rota seems to be targeting younger kids as well, and has, a bit of a simplified art style and simplified articulation as well, but it looks halfway decent here with Rota. I'm interested to see how long his body is there and, trailing behind him. So far, I haven't heard anything about any higher end figures like Black Series releases for Rota, but I mean, unless it's a total bomb or something, I kind of imagine that they're going to be having lots of different releases for him as a character moving forward. Finally, we have these Mandalorian and Grogu Cosby plush keychains from Hot Toys. I believe these are blind bagged. They're just little plush keychains that you can have on your bag or whatever. And they do have a Rota, thankfully. He looks pretty darn cute, I'll have to say, even with those axes. That's all I've been able to find for Rota or other Hut-related items that are going to be for Mandalorian and Grogu. But as I said, I can't imagine that they're not going to be making a lot of stuff for Rota and possibly for the Hut twins as well. They're on the poster, so I assume they have some sort of major role in the movie. Um, yeah, let me know if you've seen anything that I didn't include in the video. I am going to be getting many of these items in the near future, so I plan to make a follow-up video with those and probably maybe just roll it into a larger collection pickups video at that point as well. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching, and may the 4th be with you.